Hello everyone, today I'll be talking about Barcelona's game versus PSG in France. As this is going to be an interesting game because we will be facing Barcelona's old coach, Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique is one of the legends of FC Barcelona. We've won the Champions League with him, and he is known for his tactical methods that are very similar to the Barcelona's DNA of possession of the ball and short passes, using the wingers to attack. So it's very similar to what Barcelona's game is. So it's gonna be a very interesting game to watch. And in this video, I'll be talking about what PSG is doing this season and what can we do to try to not lose the game. And also in the end of the video, I'll be talking about my predictions for this away game for FC Barcelona. So far, PSG played 42 games in all competitions. They won 28 games, had 3 losses and 11 draws. The last time they lost a game was all the way back in November of 2023 with Milan. And the last time they lost a game at home in France was back in September of 2023. So this tells us this is a tough team to beat at home. They have very good players, especially in the defense and in the attacking. Their weakness could be the midfield. However, it's going to be a very interesting game for Xavi to try to study and to execute with using the players to try to not lose this game. My idea is Barcelona should not lose this game. It's okay to draw, and I mean, it's going to be best to win. So it's going to be very important not to lose the game, because if we lose the game back home, we'll have to be more offensive to try to compensate for our loss. And if that happens, then we will leave lots of spaces in the back where Kylian Mbappe and Ousmane Dembele could utilize and then hurt us badly. So that's why our goal is not to lose this game. PSG for this season, they scored 96 goals in these 42 games, so it's more than 2 goals per game. They have made 76 assists, so it tells you this is one of the teams that cares about possession of the ball. Most of their attacks comes from the right hand side where Ousmane Dembele plays. Kylian is mostly playing in the 18-yard box, and sometimes he shifts to the left winger, but this season he is mostly center forward in the attacking box. Kylian Mbappe this season scored 39 goals and made 8 assists. So this is a beast. It's very hard to control him. Most of their goals is coming from him. So we really need to do our best to not get him balls. If he receives balls, it's gonna be very, very difficult to defend against him, especially that we have a young defender like Kubarsi. He's great, he's talented. However, Kylian Mbappe is a very mature, very quick player that's gonna be very tough to defend against him. So I think Araujo has to do most of the defending against Kylian Mbappe, and it's gonna be interesting to see what Kubarsi is gonna do. PSG is a team that likes to shoot from outside the box, so they usually make around 5 shots per game. So it's going to be very important for our midfielders to try to block these shots, So against PSG, I think it's very important to control the midfield. This is their weakest spot, and we need to dominate the midfield, especially at their stadium in France, If we cannot control the midfield, if we cannot slow the game down, then we risk losing the game. They have very quick players like Kylian Mbappe, Kolo Muani, Ousmane Dembele and others, so it's very important to try to limit them from getting the ball, to try to limit the 1-versus-1 occurrences during that game. Try to limit the spaces as much as possible. We need to play in tight spaces. Defensive players and midfielders should be close to each other, so I think we should have at least 4 midfielders. In my opinion, we should even have 5 midfielders. We need to control this game as much as possible and try to limit them from having the ball, because once you limit them from having the ball, we could create dangers, we could control the game, However, if they have the ball, if they have spaces in the back, then we are almost done. They don't need lots of chances to score against us. So we need to control the game, we need to slow down the game. If it becomes a ping pong kind of game, then you almost guarantee we'll lose the games. We cannot lose this game. The best thing is obviously winning the game, but if we have a draw, then that's perfectly good. However, if we lose the game, it's gonna be very difficult to try to win it back at home, because we'll be expected to attack, and then when we do that, we're gonna leave spaces in the back, and then they have quick players, as I mentioned, Kylian and Osman Dembele and Kouamouani and Ramos and others. So it's gonna be very difficult to try to defend against them and also attack PSG. So that's why I'm saying we need to try not to lose this game. Try to score from the chances that we'll get. We might not get lots of chances, but we'll have to be effective into translating these chances into goals, because I don't expect this game to have lots of chances from Barcelona's side. PSG is going to be their stadium. They'll try to attack us. And they are known to have possession of the ball. And this season, they have had 65% possession of the ball on average per game. So this is a team that will try to control us. So that's why I'm saying we need to have at least 4 midfielders and even maybe 5 midfielders to try to take the ball away from them and then play together as one team to try to attack and score a goal. 1 goal is enough, 2 goals would be perfect, and try not to lose that game. For this season, PSG have mostly played with 4-3-3 formation, and sometimes they play with 4-2-3-1 or 3-4-3. I expect them to play with 4-3-3 formation for this game, since it's gonna be a home game for them, so they will try to score as much goals as possible, and it's gonna be very important to Xavi to be aware of this, to try to control the game as much as possible, especially the first few minutes of the game. Let's slow it down. Let's decide this game back home in Barcelona. Let's not lose this game in France, because if we do that, as I said, it's gonna be very difficult to come back. Been hearing that Xavi is gonna play with 4-3-3, and I think if he does that, this will be a disaster for us. We cannot have 3 midfielders. We need to have at least 4 midfielders to try to control the ball in this game. A good formation could be Ter Stegen, and then Koundé, Araujo, Kubarsi, and Cancelo in the defense, and then in the midfield we could have Frenkie de Jong, Christensen, Gundogan, and Fermin Lopez or Sergio Roberto, depending on what Xavi prefers. And then in the attack we could have Lamine Yamal, and then either Lewandowski or Ferran Torres. I think Xavi will choose Lewandowski, but if it's up to me, I'll choose Ferran Torres, because we need a young, fresh player that's gonna move behind the defenders, that could make these runs, So this is what I prefer. And again, at least 4 midfielders, and we'll try not to lose this game. So my predictions for this game, I think, is gonna be 1-1. It's very important for us, again, not to lose this game. So if we win, it will be amazing. If we just draw, then that will be good as well. It's going to be a tough game against a very tough opponent in their stadium. So 1-1, I think, is a good, fair result. But yeah, put in the chat below what's your predictions for this game, and let's see who's going to be right. But I hope Barcelona do not lose this game, and let's see what's going to happen. And Visca Barça. See you in the next video. Thank you. Thank you for watching my YouTube video. If you like the content, smash the like button please, subscribe to my channel, and also add me on my Instagram and my Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.